Look at this person. They are lying completely flat on the surface of deep water. Not treading, not swimming, just resting. Gravity seems to have lost its grip entirely. This diagram highlights where this is happening. This is the Dead Sea. Nestled right on the border between Israel and Jordan, it rests at the very bottom of the earth. The surface sits an astonishing 430 meters below sea level. It earns its intimidating name for a very specific reason. If a fish basin or a plant attempts to take root, the survival rate is exactly 0%. No macro marine life can endure these conditions. Yet, despite being a totally lethal environment for fish and flora, it draws hundreds of thousands of humans every year who are looking for health, healing, and physical rejuvenation. It is one of the strangest biological contradictions on the planet. The most inhospitable, utterly lifeless body of water on Earth doubles as a miraculous biological haven for humans. To understand how this extreme environment formed, we have to look at how water arrives here. The Dead Sea is fed by incoming rivers that wash fresh water and mineral runoff down from the surrounding Rocky Mountains. But once that water arrives, it hits a geological dead end. The lake sits in a deep basin with no natural outlet to any ocean. Water can flow in, but it has absolutely nowhere to flow out. Caught in the intense Middle Eastern sun, the trapped liquid undergoes extreme evaporation. The pure H2O escapes as vapor into the atmosphere, leaving every single dissolved solid and mineral trapped behind in the basin. Over thousands of years, this process leaves an enormous physical footprint. Massive, porous crusts of crystalline salt form right along the shoreline, continuously building up on the water's edge. To put that chemical payload into perspective, a normal ocean is roughly 3 to 3.5% salt. The Dead Sea sits between 30 and 34%, and it is packed with 21 rare minerals like magnesium, calcium, and potassium. It behaves less like a traditional sea and more like a one-way geological pressure cooker, hoarding salt and minerals continuously for millennia. This diagram shows exactly why a human body sinks in normal water. An average human has a higher density, meaning more mass packed into a given volume, than freshwater. Because the body is denser, it overrides the water's upward force and sinks to the bottom. But watch what happens to the math when we add the Dead Sea's chemical profile. All those dissolved minerals pack tightly together in the liquid, drastically increasing the mass of the water itself. The water's density value rockets well past the human body's baseline. Because the liquid is now significantly denser than the person inside it, it exerts a massive upward force. This immediately pushes the less dense human straight to the surface. You don't need any swimming skills or special techniques to stay afloat here. Thanks to the raw physics of density, sinking in this water is a mathematical impossibility. That exact same chemical overload that makes the water completely toxic to fish gills turns out to be highly therapeutic for human biology. Look at this thick, dark mineral mud collected straight from the beach. It is heavily utilized as a global treatment for clearing severe skin conditions like eczema, relieving chronic joint pain, and soothing muscle stress. But navigating a hypersaline environment requires strict safety protocols. Getting this water in your eyes causes severe burning, and swallowing it can be highly dangerous. Visitors are strongly warned against entering with any open cuts or scrapes to avoid excruciating pain. Even completely healthy individuals must strictly limit their total time in the water to prevent the extreme salt levels from rapidly dehydrating their skin. Harnessing the restorative power of this basin means recognizing exactly what it is. You are stepping into a highly potent, volatile chemical bath. Today, this environment is facing an alarming ecological crisis. These dry, layered formations along the shore act like giant bathtub rings, showing a drastic drop in water levels over time. Right now, the surface is plummeting at a rate of roughly 1 meter every single year. While intense natural evaporation plays a role, human activity is accelerating the loss. Heavy industrial mining operations pump water directly out of the basin to harvest vast quantities of potassium and magnesium, driving the water levels down even faster. The exact geological trap that spent millennia building this scientific marvel is now working in reverse.
Aided by relentless human interference, the lowest point on Earth is slowly evaporating away.